Hi, welcome to today's episode of Man, We're Too Old for This. I'm your host, CDL. With me today is
The experience, some call Jason.
The Todd Father. The token boy chin wonder, Tarky.
Today we're going to be talking about sidekicks. Our favorite sidekicks we didn't like, and ones that eventually, angled up into being heroes themselves. Alright, I'll start us off.
Thank God. What? This is super easy.
Barely an inconvenience.
Sidekick that I like. I'll have to go with Robin.
The nice, easy choice. To be fair, if you're going to discuss sidekicks, he probably is the one you should start with.
And half the panel goes, shit. Let's talk about Robin. The one with or without pants.
Well,
Without.
The one without, because that's the cool one.
or you can also talk about the female Robins. There's been two.
Yeah, deal with it.
But
Robin.
probably the most famous sidekick that I can think of.
Dick.
Dick Grayson.
Master Dick. Master Dick.
Then you had Jason Todd. And what's the
Tim Drake.
Tim Drake. So
Oh, you're just going to leave out Carrie Kelly and Stephanie Brown.
my brain.
Misogynist pig.
He mentioned they existed. He didn't remember the names. They were women.
Neither of them were around very long either.
She had 3 appearances at 3 different ages. How dare you?
How dare you?
They were for an entire comic series. The second one sucked. But we don't talk about it.
Jason, what's a sidekick that comes to your mind with you?
Oh, Robin? Matching up with Robin age-wise would probably be Bucky. Though, growing up reading my dad's comics, of course, I was only familiar with Bucky, well, really from 2 places. One, just being a plot point in Captain America's early appearances in the Avengers. Because back in the 60s, Cap was running around with some PTSD from that. Yep, they didn't call it that at the time, but yeah.
Yeah.
But that was an issue that hung with him for a while.
Which kind of,
Now, in the 60s, you also had the Invaders comic that my dad had a good run of, so I did get to see some of Bucky actually running around doing stuff. Can't say I was ever super impressed with him. I wouldn't call him my favorite. He just, other than Robin, the first one that comes to mind when I think sidekick. As far as sidekicks that I care anything about, I thought Jubilee was neat enough. Or had
That's it.
potential.
Eat up all the sidekicks so me and Taylor have nothing. Bucky. You've
Yeah.
had Bucky. Save the rest of it for later. Bucky. Robin, Bucky. Done.
Alright.
Don't go into 15 other people, because then we won't have shit. We'll be sitting there going, I don't know, one of the holograms? But, no.
Alright, what's yours?
Oh, mine's easy. Iron Fist.
I knew that's where he was going to get.
Yep. Bastard came after the hand. He was the sidekick.
I would disagree only in that he had his own book prior to that.
Robin had his own book.
Robin didn't have his own book first.
Tim Drake. Yeah, you had his first appearance. You had his first little appearances as Robin, and then he had his own book, getting trained and all that kind of shit. You have had them bastards pop up there somewhere else first, and then go sidekick up.
Yeah, but that's when you're getting a replacement for an already existing character.
He came after the end. He was the weaker of the two.
Actually, did you have a book called Batman and Robin that Tim Drake did? So they wasn't after an ant. So you could argue he was.
Well, Batman and Robin's is like extended time. It's Batman and Robin. Robin's always a sidekick. That's just a given. But Robin's had books before. Yeah.
Yeah, not before.
Yeah, you had Luke Cage, and then you also had Iron Fist, and then they merged them into one book.
Right, but he came after the end. You never have the top duo after the end. Ever. You just don't. Cable Deadpool was Cable Deadpool. It wasn't Cable and Deadpool. It was Cable / Deadpool. There was no and. They were co-equal in that book. You had Cable Deadpool and Deadpool Cable. Neither of them was a sidekick. Neither one of them came after the hand. Iron Fist's ass came after the hand. he was the sidekick. Batman and Robin, Cap and Bucky, Ant-Man and Wasp. He came after the Ant. He was the sidekick. And when you read the book, you'd rather have Iron Fist pissed off at you than Cage. Cage was bulletproof and could hit you with a car. Iron Fist could make his fist feel like iron once every 24 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was back way before they started giving him the massive power
Yep.
bucks.
He was the damn sidekick.
Taylor?
Yo, what up, dog? I'm my own best sidekick.
We've named every sidekick you know, haven't we?
No.
Yes.
There's Honey Badger, whom I love because she's a murder machine that's this tall, but, you know,
That tall? This tall.
it fluctuates by the artist.
Well,
Sometimes she's just a little kid,
She-
and then sometimes she's a chibi character.
she's that tall next to Wolverine. She's that tall next to Colossus.
Oh, there's another great character I brought up. She's not actually a sidekick. Though she should.
Who?
American Chibi.
Never heard of
Astro City character.
him. Okay.
Her introduction is one of the funniest things I'd read in comics that year.
Let's see here. As far as, you know, sidekicks to heroes, Kid Omni-Man from Invincible. Omni-Man's kid from the alien race that
Oh,
grows
that's
fast.
right. That was what they were calling him.
Because he wanted to honor Omni-Man, who was a traitor to all of Earth at that point,
And had destroyed a large section of a city. Yeah.
and the lead super team of the planet. I'm gonna honor him. I'm gonna be called Kid Omni-Man. And everyone went, ooh.
Bad choice.
But he was the second stoutest thing on the planet, as long as Invincible was there.
That depends on how much that depends on how much the rest of the Image characters are there.
Yeah.
Because he'd have been stouter than Savage Dragon probably.
Well, like, he was growing and developing fast enough that, you know, he was the equivalent of, like, 5 or 6 in human years. But he was developing powers close to, 16, 17-year-old Invincible. Because he could already fly with proficiency by the time Invincible sees him the first time.
That is true. But with the old Image characters, you've got guys like Mighty Man running around. You have got other guys on that level.
It's just like, in the Invincible comics, Kid Omni-Man immediately popped up pretty high on the list.
Oh,
And-
was Invincible in the same Image verse as... Okay. I didn't know that.
At least in the early ones. You stop having like Savage Dragon make any appearances pretty early.
Spawn shows up once.
Who else showed up? In the Guardians of the Globe stuff, you had a couple of the characters from Capes who stayed main characters or main supporting characters. Who was the old guy? It's like him and his sister were immortal. The Brit. I think that's what they called him. No, he was British. He was the Brit. I think his sister was Britannia.
We won't call yourself fucking British. I'll call myself the Brit.
But it was one of those that as Invincible starts taking the world off in an odd direction, yeah, you stopped having the other Image characters pop in. It's kind of a loose continuity.
Okay. Alright. Sidekicks that we didn't care for. I'm going to go with the first Speedy that, sidekick of Green Arrow. I never really cared for Speedy. I thought, okay, if you're going to have a sidekick, go with something other than, the way they did with him. And then they turned him into Arsenal. That really made him, he went from being, second greatest dude with a bow and arrow to, I can hit you with anything.
Well, if you can aim, you can kind of aim. It's just a matter of getting the basic.
If you understand how gravity works and how fast the thing you shoot is, congrats, you can hit anybody with anything.
That's
As long
actually
as
when he
there's
became a character worth me remembering.
Oh my god, that's when he became worth, paying attention to.
Basically, not that I was some great fan of Arsenal, but I never liked Green Arrow, so knock off Little Green Arrow really didn't do nothing for me.
What about when he was addicted to drugs?
He's on that shit,
That was
man.
at least an interesting story. That was you taking a useless character and doing something with it.
What? Green Arrow is a really good father. Weird.
I'm that shit, man. I'm that shit.
All right, what would be your sidekick
Oh,
you
let's
didn't
see.
care
Sidekick
for?
I didn't care for. What was her name? Stephanie Brown.
Spoiler.
Yeah. I liked her as Spoiler. I liked her as Batgirl. I clicked her entire run as Batgirl. As Robin,
Besides.
I don't know. It didn't click with me. Partly because I got the impression early on that they were going to, I don't want to say make her suck, but that Batman was going to basically fire her at some point, you know. And as Spoiler, she was her own character.
When you become a sidekick, it feels kind of like a downgrade.
Yeah. And not that it really was, but it's like, you know, she's already kind of one of the periphery Bat characters like Huntress. And now you just kind of cram her up under his shadow more. You know, for some reason her as Batgirl worked better for me, even though that didn't
It's
really
the
change.
same thing. You can be Batgirl, but by God, don't let me catch you as Robin.
Well, he went there and, oh, now there's cooties in a Robin suit. Ugh.
Though even as Batgirl, she's not my favorite Batgirl.
Yeah.
Sandra Kane is my favorite
Yeah.
Batgirl.
All right, Todd, how about you?
Oh, Jason Todd Robin. I voted to kill his ass.
Yeah,
He
I
is
did too.
obviously not my favorite sidekick. He was a douche.
But, did you vote to kill his ass? Twice.
Well, yeah. Because he's still a douche. The best thing Jason Todd ever did, besides having my first name as his last name, was die. It's like, oh, it's a character named Jason Todd? My name's Todd. I think I'll... Oh my God. Yeah. You suck.
Die.
Well, it was kind of... We can make phone calls from here? Here's a 5. Die. 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 Yeah,
I
they...
didn't mind him.
eh,
Now, literally the only story I've ever read with Jason Todd, other than his appearance at Tara's funeral in Teen Titans where he had no speaking part, was Death in the Family. And I thought that was just a neat story that
yeah, the story was neat, but the trick is he was the Robin that was hard-headed. So it was one of them kind of things where, you know, Batman didn't do something, he was all like, fuck you, I do what I want to do. He kind of had the what was her name, Clara from Doctor Who. You know how she spent most of her run going, I know as much as the Doctor does. I'll handle this on my
I
own.
thought it was Amy Pond that did that.
Well, yeah, Amy did the shit too, but Clara had it kind of bad about, you know, she was in that same vein of, I can handle this. I can handle this. I can handle this. Till she went, I can handle this. You did what? Yeah, I did this. I knew you'd fix it. That was essentially Jason. They led you to believe he had thrown a dude off of a building. Who deserved it? He had diplomatic immunity. He was going to get by with murdering his girlfriend. You know, and he ends up street pizza. Batman shows up. What the hell happened to him? And Robin's like, yeah, he slipped. And just walked off. So you're like, yeah, Robin's a little murderous sucker. He's a little murderous shit. You know, you didn't feel bad about it, but it was one of them kind of things where it was like,
That's not a good fit for Robin.
right. You know, if you were used to Batman and Robin being Dick Grayson, and there being, yeah, he didn't work. So, yeah, when you had a chance to murk his ass, I catch you later, get rid of his ass.
I did like the fact that when they murked him, that was something that had long-running repercussions.
Yeah.
Yep,
A
Batman.
la Bucky.
Yeah, Batman went off the deep end for a while.
Yep. Cut himself off from any type of sidekick. Didn't really even want to work with the Justice League.
And he got hyper-violent.
Yeah.
He stopped being a detective and tended to just go beat the living hell out of everything. That was kind of the whole thing that ends up bringing Tim Drake into it. Is even spectators will start to go, there's something wrong with Batman. You're going off the damn deep end too. Alfred is sitting there going, yeah, you don't think anymore. You just, folks that you normally would have outthought, you just going in, get the hell beat out of yourself, pummel them. Well, like I said, that's back in the days when comic deaths had weight. They had weight and they had ramifications, surviving characters that bothered them, as opposed to the Wheel of Resurrection, which, the hell, he died.
They may not be dead a month before they bring him back.
Yeah. And it's to the point where in some books, hell, even the characters themselves are going, I'll be here when you get back.
Taylor?
Luckily, I don't think he said superhero sidekicks, so I can wheel myself off to the thing that will make you all try to murder me. I hated Snarf.
You hated Snarf?
The Thundercats.
Yeah, I can see that.
Dude, it's just
I didn't hate Snarf. He was my least favorite character on the show.
He's just kind of an annoying sidekick. That I'd just be like, I would like the show more without you. I like the kids more. If the kids more stuff to say.
Only time
He was the kind of character they always crammed in that kind of show. In He-Man it was Cringer.
Yeah.
And maybe Orko, though. I like Orko.
that was Orko. Orko was Snarf, not Cringer. Cringer turned into Battle Cat and had a purpose. Orko was just there.
Because, like, I remember the
He was
episode...
the Mighty Trollin. We'll send his ass back where he'd be mighty because he sucks.
I remember the episode where, it was all the trials he had to go through to maintain leadership. And I was like, what are you doing when Snarf shows up? Snarf going to be like, pat my tummy. Yeah, you're the leader now. Thanks. Just walk off. What's Snarf going to make you
Did
do?
Snarf actually count as a Thundercat?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so.
He was just lying nose nanny. I don't know. I think the most fun we ever had watching the episode of Thundercats was all due to Snarf. Have you forgotten?
When you have to dedicate an episode to Snarf doesn't suck.
That was Orko. Orko
Yeah.
in every season of Master Universe had it, and Orko doesn't suck.
Yeah.
I remember us sitting around watching it.
Remember we were replacing the Snarfs with curse words? Or we were we were both replacing the Snarfs with curse words, and then using Snarf kind of like Smurf in replace of curse words. So we're sitting there listening to the dialogue, and it's X-rated as hell, because every time he talks, it was a F-bomb laden nightmare. That is the only time I've ever liked Snarf.
So what did I say? Third.
He just called him a fucking bastard.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. And also, that stupid fucking techno soccer ball from every fucking Gundam show.
I don't think I've seen a Gundam show that had a techno soccer ball.
It shows up in the original... Well, G Gundam don't have it, and Wing don't have it.
Okay.
The two that I liked.
Exactly!
Wing's the only one I've watched any real amount of.
And the two that was exactly the two that I've watched.
That's why. Yeah. Oh, I just hate it because it shows up in so many of them.
Hell, if I knew we were restricted to
Universal
comic
Century
books,
stuff.
then hell, Jason Todd would have been replaced by Amy Pond. I hated the Pond.
That'll work.
I hated her.
You hate Rory?
I hated the Pond.
What did he do that you hated?
Exist.
Alright, fair enough.
I think he was just tied in.
What about the kid? What about the other pond? The third pond? The kid?
Oh, the one that they ran into the fucking ground? River?
Yeah.
Yeah, they ran River's ass into the ground.
Yeah.
I did not despise River the way I despised her parents. But I stopped watching Doctor Who until I found out, the Ponds are getting offed in this one. Really?
And then he was back.
Yep, and I came back just to see how they bit it.
I like Rory alright. Amy Pond did get on my nerves a little bit. River, I like the overall arc of her story.
Yeah.
But they kind of stretched it out, and she kept popping up after that when that should have been the wrap up.
Well, they had to explain why she was this.
Okay. Favorite sidekick, or a sidekick that went from sidekick to hero that you like?
Yeah, start with me when you go sidekick to villain. I have one of those in mind. Sidekick to hero.
Sidekick to hero.
I need it.
The obvious answer would be Nightwing. Just because he is probably the most successful character to transition like that. Because, he has generally had a book.
Yeah.
I mean, he's gone for a few short periods of time without a book, but he's generally
DC
had
has
some
wanted to kill him for years.
does DC want to kill off Nightwing?
I don't know.
The current guy don't like the fact that he's named Dick,
Oh, yeah.
so they changed it to Rick because that's totally different from Dick. You can't make none of them Dick jokes with Rick.
But anyway, I'd go with him. As a kid, I liked the costume change. But though I like Dad's the Teen Titans issues through there that Dad had, period.
Judas' contract was just a damn good story.
Yeah, that's where he actually makes he quits being Robin shortly before. Or no, they've already got Terror when he makes that.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it depends on where exactly Judas' contract storyline is considered to start.
Because that's the trick. If you get the trade of the Judas contract, yeah, he's Robin at the very beginning, and he renounces the identity in that first little story there. Because you have all of them kind of standing around going, "Who are you gonna be?" Dick Grayson.
But
Dick.
like I said, he'd be the obvious one, and certainly one of my favorites. Kid Flash to Flash with Wally West would also be one. Because I did really enjoy the Flash book during Wally's run. I don't know if we can count him, though, since, the one guy that wanted Barry Allen back got put in charge of writing the book. So, he brought the most boring character alive back.
And then after it was proven that, Wally really was the better Flash, they kill Wally. They turn Wally into a murderer and kill him. Thanks, DC. You really know what the people want.
That's why they don't get my money no more.
One of the things I was going to mention was Wally West as Flash. Yeah, I had read some of the Barry Allen stuff, but I really got into Flash when Wally took over. That was a character that clicked for me. I liked how they handled, like the fact, okay, I run this fast, I've got to take in this many calories a day. I've got to do this. Oh yeah, I'm doing this in the Speed Force. I got to do, I guess the.
Well, you were. He had been Flash for a while before they brought the Speed Force stuff into it. Period.
Yeah.
Because he basically took over as the Flash as soon as the crisis was over.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, this is hard because you've named some of the ones I was going to talk about.
I've said two.
That's all there is. Thanks, Jason.
There's not as many sidekicks as there used to be. You go back to the 40s and everybody had a sidekick.
Yeah, but the sidekicks that make that transition into the hero, Falcon, and he didn't really start being cool until they get, the movie version where,
who was the guy that gave him the light wings and stuff? He did some neat stuff through there.
Yeah.
He did stuff neat enough DC ripped it off for their New 52 Robin.
Yeah, you have a period in that World Trust Red Zone run with Falcon where they expanded his abilities from just talking to Red Wing to being able to communicate with birds, period. That Falcon had potential under that guy.
And then the next rider came along and crammed him back into his box.
Yeah.
Which, it's either that or minority character Limbo,
I guess the next character that went from sidekick to hero, and although I never read but a couple of the books, would be Stargirl in DC. She started out as in the Stars and Stripes book.
Well, she started off just a star.
Yeah.
She didn't become Stargirl until Starman gave her the
Staff.
And retired. Then they started calling her that. Up till then, she just had the Cosmic Converter belt that the Skyman had used.
Todd?
No.
She
Probably.
would be good with that.
Do you need me to pop that for you?
No. If you're talking about the sidekick that went to hero, yeah, probably Rhodey. War Machine.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Would you consider him a sidekick though? Because he was a supporting character.
Even when
That did not have, because he didn't have a suit of armor until after he had been Iron Man.
right. But the thing is, he'd been Tony's pilot. He was the one that, when they retconned it, he was the one that saved Tony from Vietnam. Yeah, he was. Because I look at Rhodey, Happy, Pepper. Yeah, they were all sidekicks. They were Iron Man sidekicks. Rhodey would help Tony out in shit.
They were just industrial sidekicks.
Well,
So Alfred and Batman would count as a sidekick.
Yeah.
The way
Yeah.
you're defining it. Okay.
Yeah.
Not sure if I agree with that, but I get the frame of reference you're using.
Because the trick is, you've had times where, hell, Happy pulled Tony's ass out of fire. Hell, the whole reason Rhodey took over as Iron Man was
So
because...
Commissioner Gordon is a sidekick.
Truthfully.
I don't know. They ain't a costume. I don't know what they're a sidekick. But anyway, carry on. Like I said, I get how you're framing it.
But yeah, that would, for me, that'd be my sidekick. Because I think, what is it, Iron Man... It's either 200 or 300. It's one of the Century issues. Where they basically have... They're fighting Ultimo, and you have all of Tony's sidekicks in some variation of his armor. Yeah, he was one of them that, he pulled Tony's ass out of the fire when he became a drunk and couldn't be Iron Man. He took over as Iron Man for him.
But even Tony was still in his ear during that time frame.
And the trick to that is, War Machine's an Iron Man sidekick.
Yes, now that one I will definitely give you. So he's had his own book. You could argue that he has become his own hero.
And Rhodey's been Iron Man at least twice. Because right after Dark Reign, where you had the kind of weird black and neon armor kind of thing, that was always Rhodey. I mean, that was Tony basically going, I'm busy doing something else. The world needs an Iron Man. Here's my most modern suit of armor. And he was Iron Man for all that, for about 3, 4 months, something like that. So that'd be mine that goes into a hero, because he has had his own book a couple of times, and he tends to transition back and forth between right-hand man and main hero.
A lot like Nightwing does.
Yeah.
He usually got his own book, but every now and then he'll be back in the Batman books real heavy.
Taylor?
So once again, gonna have to go out on a limb with something that's sidekick, not superhero related. You best be ready for this one.
Donald Trump.
It's Obi-Wan Kenobi. Starts as a Padawan,
It's true.
has his master die in front of him, kills the villain, becomes a knight.
That works.
He transitions super fast, but
Yeah.
he starts as a sidekick.
Fair enough.
And if you read,
He's still what I would argue, because his actual original appearances, he was already the knight. You have to go back to prequel stuff to get that. But I'll give it to you. I realize this is a difficult.
but guess what? First one I watched was episode 1.
Fair enough.
So for me,
For me, it was the start, and I went, I hope it's Qui-Gon Jinn, dude. It's pretty cool, Obi. Oh. Alright, let's go with Obi-Wan. He did a cool flippy thing. That's also why it's hard for me to go back and watch 4, 5, and 6.
My all became later.
Because watching 1, I went, man, these are cool fights. There's 3 more of these? Oh.
The fights in this suck.
Yeah, the sword fight. They really stepped the sword fights up in the prequels.
Yeah.
And then regressed them in the current one, so,
But story-wise, I was thinking about that yesterday, talking about some guys about Star Wars. It kind of works. Because, the Jedi pretty much wiped out, so...
And who are you learning from? The guy from 4, 5, and 6.
Well, Luke... You never see Yoda teach Luke any damn thing with a lightsaber.
Yeah.
Just how to use the Force.
Yeah, just how to use the Force. So, you talking about somebody that you basically gave him a stick and said, hey, get to swinging.
Alright, villain, or hero that became a villain, or villain that became
That
a
was the
hero?
one I
You mean
wanted to start.
sidekick that scene?
Yeah, sorry.
Go ahead and start then. 'Cause I don't
Kid
have-
Miracle Man.
I'm aware.
Kid Miracle Man. Genocidal sociopath erupts from a rape. What if Captain Marvel Jr. got raped in the booty and remembered he was Captain Marvel Jr.?
Wow.
That's Kid Miracle Man.
Alright.
Not during the original English run, but the one, what's his face was right?
The one that, is it Alan Moore?
It may have been, I forget.
Yeah, the one that people like.
Yeah. The old English one was just a Shazam knockoff.
Which is, it still was. It was
Yeah.
just... Yeah, he was he was the sidekick that the hero realizes, motherfucker may be crazy. Maybe need to do something so he don't remember what the hell he can do. put him in the boys' home. Well, he's a little wimp in the boys' home, and some of the boys get a little randy and go, well, we ain't got no girls around here. So guess what you get to be?
Yeah, he decapitated people at super speed.
Yep. And in the midst of the violation, he remembers. Komodo. And now you are raping a damn near insane demigod. Have fun with that. Yeah, Kid Miracle Man fucked some people up.
He was wrecking London, basically.
Yep.
I can't say I blame him.
He did not take that well.
All right,
Let's
Jason.
see. Sidekick to villain.
Or villain sidekick to hero.
I love being able to throw technicalities. So I'm sitting here going, Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, I was sitting there going,
Yeah.
I'm sitting there thinking to myself, looking at Target going, I bet you gonna say Darth Vader or Anakin Skywalker.
But see, at first my brain went, Venom technically is a sidekick.
The symbiote.
They worked together and he was under Spider-Man.
I'm trying to think of another sidekick that went straight villain. You had a storyline that I had parts of. In...
Oh wait, Jason Todd, of course.
Yeah, you could do him. I was
Of
gonna,
course.
I was gonna try to leave him
That
for somebody else.
was a great storyline.
But what was it? It was in the annuals one year, like Spider-Man. I think it was Spider-Man, New Warriors, Moon Knight, and maybe another Spider-Man book. It was called the story was called Round Robin's Revenge, or Round Robin, a Sidekick's Revenge, and it was somebody related to Moon Knight, but I don't actually know the character he was. I can't use it.
Oh,
The bits of the story I had was super neat, but I didn't have the first of it, so I don't know who he was supposed to have been before.
I don't know who in the hell you are.
But hot damn, keep doing that sweet ass shit you're doing.
It was a neat story. At least the pieces I had of it.
You could always use Nakia.
I think it happened before I started reading Priest Run.
Really? Oh. So you ever read the first, the one with Mephisto where he...
I came in after that.
Oh.
You had been hyping it up so much, that's when I picked it up. The Devil's Pants being part of why I picked it up. She would be a good a choice, though. It's going to confuse people that are only familiar with the movie version.
Yeah. Well, that way the one who the hell Nakia is.
That's true.
Spoilers!
In the comics, she was one of the door that became, well, they were all called Brides of the Panther. She became particularly obsessed with him.
Yep.
Like crazy obsessed.
Yeah.
Well,
Crazy
she was the one that took the position literally.
Mm.
I am one of the king's wives in training, and by God, at some point, I am so going to do it. So then when he picked some American bitch instead of her, Elf had to go.
Yeah. Did not take it well at all. So I guess I'll go with her. Cause
Even to the point of launching her ass out of a plane.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to do this?
I've
What happened? She died.
I've got two. One is villain to hero, and the other one is villain. Yeah, I guess they are both villain to hero. Harley Quinn and Deadpool.
Which is a sidekick villain. I'll give Harley Quinn.
Yeah, that's fair.
You can have a villain you can have a sidekick villain.
That's fair.
And
So I was thinking, who's the sidekick? No, yeah, Harley Quinn's a good.
Deadpool though
Has never been a sidekick.
has never been a sidekick. He's been somebody's assassin.
I was thinking he was somebody's sidekick when they first.
He worked for Tolliver, but he wasn't Tolliver's
So he
sidekick.
was hired muscle.
He was Tolliver's hitman.
Okay.
That was the same relationship Kingpin and Bullseye had.
Yeah.
But Harley Quinn.
But Harley Quinn, yeah, was the actual sidekick.
How much of a hero I would consider her even now is kind of varies from story to story, but
Yeah.
But she has had stories where she's gone, I need to help
she's at
Batman
least as much of a hero as Deadpool.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, Harley Quinn.
Stop that!
Harley Quinn reminds me of like a female Punisher that realized they went off the deep end, but kind of wants to do right.
she's female Deadpool.
Yeah. She's
I mean,
literally female.
Yeah,
Deadpool.
she's female Deadpool.
Or Deadpool is dude Harley Quinn. Whichever came first. No, Deadpool actually came first.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both children of the 90s, but yeah.
And so Taylor, is Anakin going to be your?
I mean, Jason Todd has been left available. I will take the Jason Todd.
How dare you say that Jason Todd is a villain? Yeah, he's villain.
I mean, Red Hood.
Yes.
Yeah, the villain story.
Yeah.
He didn't stay a villain for necessarily that long. I think he's back to being a sidekick now.
Well,
He's
Red
still
Hood and the Outlaws.
He still murks people.
He's
Oh,
an
heck,
anti-hero.
look at Winter Soldier. He still murks people.
Not as Captain America.
But the Red Hood story of going,
And not in the books anymore.
hey, Batman, guess what? I'm gonna kill these people. Hey, guess what? Can't stop me. Hey, guess what? Cut this rope because I know how you do your rope tricks. See ya. Hey, I'm gonna call up a villain of yours. Hey, guess what? I'm outside your house. What? Hi. Oh, by the way, I'm taking your drug ring. Ha! I'm the best.
Because I had a talk with a guy about that. They had Batman doing this whole long dissertation about, murderers and all that. And I was like, well, you still hang out with Jason. Jason's a goddamn murderer.
Well, that's because Batman went, if you murder a murderer, there's the same amount of murderers in the world. And Red Hood goes, yeah, but I killed like 99, so there's 98 less. And Batman goes,
Math. Mine do.
damn it. You've legaled your way out of this one.
But that's still a philosophical argument with somebody that, yeah, you should pummel this motherfucker and throw him in Arkham.
Yeah.
If you have that moral code, because,
the revolving door that Arkham is.
yeah, if you want to make excuses, I'm pretty sure Joker could come up with an excuse. Well, look at my life. I'm all fucked up and I'm deformed and all this. Yeah, I fucking
But
snapped.
he
Hell, I could
still
help
won't go up against the IRS.
In the cartoon.
Yeah,
in the
it's a
cartoon.
though. But
And
that's
in
been
the
our
books,
show.
I don't think he's ever paid taxes.
Yeah, he probably would.
He paid them in dead fish that were poisoned.
That's been our show for today. I've been your host, CDO113. 113.
1-1,
He,
I'm
he
through.
forgot his numbers opening.
Yeah,
Now he just
it
numbers
was just
wrong.
CDL. Then I was sitting there going, "What about the 113? Abs CD11 through what? Through this damn show."
I think he's in need of a reboot. Got to clear the RAM.
Yeah, I hear C-3PO losing his old. What?
You gotta, that's the one.
Oh yeah, like somebody could spoil that shit.
That's a death I'm surprised by.
Wow, he's the original character.
Right, but he's replaceable.
Easy.
The flesh ones are hard to keep looking young.
That's why they keep Chewbacca around forever, because
The
they've
robot,
already just slapped somebody else in the suit.
You know Chewie's gonna die.
only when
No,
Kashyyyk
he's
does.
Ray's sidekick.
Ray don't need no sidekick.
She's got the Force as her sidekick.
Batman don't need a sidekick. Your sidekick's there to make you look cooler. Look at this
You
big
can't-
Wookiee, and then Ray slaps the guy away.
Yeah,
Looking for it.
but to say that suggests that Ray needs somebody to make her look cooler when Ray is
Look.
all.
Women like their little purse dogs. That's Chewbacca. He's her puppy.
No, that's the Emperor.
This is taking a strange, weird.
Everybody's Ray's
It
bitch.
is. Quickly, Danny, finish us off.
I've been your host, CDO113. With me today has been...
The experience some call Jason.
The Todd father who should finish himself off, damn it.
The token staying out of the splash zone, Tarky.
Later.